into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune to my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Oh, good morning, you incredibly beautiful people. Welcome back and welcome back to you, sister. So good to have you back. Oh, it looks like you had the most amazing time.
I had the most amazing time. Of course, Millen and Magic in the house. I had the best time in Thailand.
Sun-kissed, baby.
But it's so good to be back home. No place like home. And I think the same person, someone's also saying that. Trevor Noah is saying there's no place like home. We all know that he's coming back to South Africa and he's added actually more locations to his tours. So we're going to get a chance to see him a whole lot more. So that's amazing.
I think his local fans demanded it and he has answered. That's amazing. Then we're going to check out a new game with Mr. Gareth Woods. It's a new title on Switch, a fighting game titled Arms. You can start to a little bit of investigating, but it looks like a lot of fun.
That's going to be amazing. Well, we also love to bring you viral videos, things that's trending all across the interwebs. And this morning we're looking at a sneaky dog who finds a way to steal food without anyone noticing. So that's pretty cute.
We caught you, man. We saw you, puppy. We saw you. And we're going to round it off with a magical performance from an unbelievable crew this morning. They brought us Madame Zangara, and they are back with the fantastic Graffiti Brothers. We've got contortionists, singers, and more. And you get the inside track, so stick around. But right now, let's get you prepped for the day ahead with our temperatures with Zone.
Thank you, Graham. Well, let's take a look at your weather, and it seems like most parts of the country can expect a drop in temperatures with an icy start to the morning, reaching cool and partly cloudy conditions. In Polokwane, 6:22, Mbombela 10 with a high of 26, Pretoria 7:23, Johannesburg partly cloudy 6 with a high of 23, Mahikeng 9:26, Klerksdorp 8:27, Kimberley 5 met 'n maksimum van 24, Bloemfontein 2:24, Richards Bay 16:23, Pietermaritzburg 10 met 'n maksimum van 19. In Durban, a low of 16, a high of 20, Mthatha 4 with a high of 16, East London partly cloudy 8 with a high of 18. Cradock starting off a cool -1, a high of 16, Port Elizabeth 7:17, George 6:14, Sutherland -4 reaching a high of 10. If you're in Cape Town today, expect a low of 6, a high of 15, Worcester partly cloudy, a low of -2 and a high of 13. Springbok today 4:18, Uppington 7 with a high of 24. That's where we leave your weather for now. We'll bring you another update in half an hour's time, but let's take a look at your traffic starting off in Gauteng, Boysens this morning on the M1 northbound. Traffic is slow moving. That's approaching the Crown interchange. And if you're in Cape Town and Athlone, there's been an accident that's on the N2 inbound before the M5 interchange. You can also expect some delays approaching the scene. That's where we leave your traffic for now.
Pharmadynamics, effective, affordable healthcare.
Oh, we all know that we live in a world that is constantly changing and life seems to be getting faster and faster by the day. So as we welcome today, the 11th of July, can you believe it? Hey, at one point you can't believe. Let's find out what actually happened on this day in history.
Yeah, man, we're going to do a little bit of traveling throughout the world to a very historic city. In fact, it is one of the most beautiful cities in the world, and we want you to try to guess where it is as we give you a couple of revealing clues, and it looks like the most wondrous place. I mean, look at that picture. Yeah, and I hope your wanderlust doesn't kick in again. But we're looking for the name of a really colourful and cultural city, also known as Little Paris. It's considered to be one of the most beautiful and now modern European cities, very similar to Paris, in fact, in terms of its architecture and lifestyle. And it is home to none other than the palace known as the People's House. It's the seat of the Romanian Parliament that houses the Senate, the Chamber of Deputies, 3 museums, and an international conference centre.
Wow. That is amazing. And then, of course, the building is an 84-meter high. And in terms of weight, it is the heaviest building in the world. Cool. So that is absolutely amazing. And did you also know that 64,000 stray dogs roam this city streets? It's one of the biggest problems in the city. So,
That's so weird,
Find a dog a home.
And funnily enough, the city was also the first city in southeastern Europe to host the International Cow Parade in 2005, which displayed dozens of decorated cow sculptures throughout the city. In fact, that's something we've seen go global across the world. But it looks looks like the most stimulating and inspiring place.
Absolutely. Well, if you think you know where our mystery city is on this day, then why don't you let us know by going to our Facebook page and use that official hashtag Expresso Show.
Book on Travel Start. We will turn your guilt trips into good trips.
Well, to get your morning started, we connect with you on social media. We're on Facebook this morning and we're asking, hey, what's a Tuesday without some cheesiness? So share your cheesiest joke with us. Loving the ones coming through. In fact, Vincent says, oh, well, he just says good morning. So good morning to you too. Sizwe says good morning. She's got a knock knock saying knock knock, who's there? Excellent Expresso show. I quite like that one. Thank you so much. Jonathan asking here, what do you call a witch in the desert? The answer, a sandwich. So there you have it, people sharing their cheesy jokes with us. You can do the same. Just head on over to Facebook and remember to use our hashtag Expresso Show.
So what did the ocean say to the beach?
What?
Nothing, you just waved.
That's very funny. Stop it, stop it. All right, well, talking about waving, soon Trevor Noah is going to be waving to us because he's heading to South Africa for a tour. And of course, he's added more tour dates to it. So we can't wait to see that man perform once again.
Yeah, I know. Welcome home, son. And then, of course, Gareth Woods is warming up those fingers for a little bit of switcher action. We're going to get into the new gaming title, Arms. We'll see you after the break.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. With that tune, it means time for us to find out what our local stars have been up to. And of course, welcome back, Leanne. You've had an amazing holiday, but I believe Another South African star that's coming back to SA.
You know, that's what we love. We love it. Well, Trevor Noah fans, this one is for you. Not only is our beloved Trevor Noah, comedian, heading back to South Africa, but he's also added more dates to his tour. So taking to social media, Trevor confirmed that another night of laughter has been added to his Joburg tour, and in addition, Durban has now also made the cut. This means that Josie fans have 4 chances to see him at the Dome, while Durban fans will get to see him at the Durban ICC. All is great though, but we're asking, yo Trevor, like when is Cape Town gonna get some love? You know,
Could have
come
gotten
on.
one show, but I mean, if you picked a big enough venue, it would have filled up.
I would have filled up.
Next
We can
time.
get the stadium for him. Come on,
Yes.
he'll fill it up no time. Anyway, hot off the heels of her Paris trip, top billing presenter Ayanda Tabete has jetted off yet again. Now this time, however, it's her man Dash who has whisked her to Mozambique for some adventures which include ATV riding and canoeing. Taking to Instagram, the media personality shared gorgeous pics of herself taking in the sights and sounds of Mozambique, and seeing that the trip was for their 1-year anniversary, perhaps we can expect a little baby on the pod soon. This
No,
could have been
that's
like a
1
baby
year. Let them
moon.
enjoy.
Come on.
Enjoy your holiday. Enjoy
know.
the holiday.
Oh, she's
I
so
just
beautiful.
wish seeing everyone else's holiday pictures. I'm like, I can't wait to go on holiday.
You need to do it.
Well, there you have it. That was our local entertainment news for you this morning. Stick around. We'll see what our international stars got up to. But let's get into a little bit of a game review with Graham.
It's a Tuesday morning, and that can mean only one thing. Gareth Woods is with us, and we are stepping into the ring with a brand new Switch title, Arms. Is that right? Is it
Yeah.
arm or arms? Arms.
Arms, multiple, yeah.
I had no idea until I saw the cool graphics. I'm
Yeah.
guessing the arms are about the arms.
Yeah, but they're spring-loaded punching arms, yeah.
This looks like a lot of fun,
Yeah, it's
dude.
crazy
Obviously,
fun.
we've been looking at some of the kind of graphic content, but take us through this new Switch title. This is it the first boxing title for Switch?
Well, for Switch, yes. So if we go back to, remember the Wii, and you had the Wii
Yeah.
boxing, and I think that kind of got us into the concept of hand or motion-controlled kind of punching. This is now it's graduated, as it were. So now we've got dodging and leaping and rushing towards your opponent and grabs and all sorts of different uppercut combinations and all that you're going to get to go have a try later. But yeah, it's really just, for those who love the Wii boxing, this is now
This is a
it's
massive
come of
step up.
age.
Yeah, no, I love the stylizing of it as well. It's really cool. It's fun. It's funky. Who is this for? Do you think? Who is going to be?
Yeah,
interested
look,
in this
so
game?
we've had a lot of fighting games come out this last couple of months. It's
Yeah.
really been like fighting season, if it were.
Yeah, completely,
This is
yeah.
more your kind of like highly accessible, playable for everyone sort of game, and it's a little bit active because you're having to dodge and move yourself.
So for fathers and sons is what you're saying. This is a
Yeah,
perfect
maybe.
game.
Or if you want to
invest in.
settle any domestic disputes, whose turn it is to wash the dishes, this is one way to settle it.
Oh man, I love it, dude. The characters are like so over the top that it's one of the best things. Just looking at all these variations.
Have you got any favourites?
I'm going to go with Springman because of his blue hair, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I absolutely love it. But
Spring hair as
well. Spring hair down there. Very cool concept. Love it. Is this a sign of the times? Do you think we're going to see more of this kind of game making it onto the Switch?
Yeah, so I mean, one of the things about the Switch is always that it's had these motion control, options. And obviously, as we get more and more third-party publishers deciding to like take a risk, as it were, to launch titles that have that kind of capability, we're going to see more and more come out, and hopefully, with that extra kind of facility, that we can have really, really unique games coming out.
Yeah, man. Well, this does look unique, and I'm going to play it in the unique way that I do embrace these games. So let's...
Cool.
I'm going to go easy because I have no idea what I'm
I've
doing.
got to start somewhere.
Let's see who I am pitted against. Dun, dun, dun. I like the arena feel. I must say, I'm still getting used to the Switch controllers. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't even want to know
Yeah, this
what
is
you're
the
saying.
intro explaining why this match is so important as you're going in for the
It is
Grand
the most
Prix
im-
of...
It's the most important match of my career as a gamer. The Arms Grand Prix. Who am I up against?
Kid Cobra.
Well, that sounds a little bit menacing, eh? Okay. So, what I've got to do here?
Okay, so obviously you can punch with each hand, block
Cool.
by moving the controllers towards each other, and then
Oh, nice.
if you want to grab him, you put both together, you attack with both hands.
Boom. Oh,
nice.
nice one. Yeah. Oh, nice.
Little... And of course, you can control the fist once you've thrown it. You can angle it inwards or outwards
nice.
using the motion control.
Yeah.
Give it that late
Nice.
reverse swing.
All right. Yeah. Well,
How's this?
oh, nice.
How's this boxing shark here, hey?
This, man.
Pretends he's new.
Everything's easy on level setting 1. Ah! And power up.
Okay, you stunned him.
And
Yeah, you got the grab. Good job.
bam! Oh, you are nothing to me, Kid Cobra. I will knock you out of the ring. That was
explosion.
dastardly move. Ah!
Nice. I think that's
Bam,
KO.
bam!
Good job.
And he does it in style. Oh, dude, that was so much fun, man. I don't know why I always break a sweat when I play these games, man.
You got to do it seriously.
But that is really, really cool. I'm actually going to give you a turn here, dude. It's a lot of fun. I like the fact that you can select different fists. This is
they've all got
awesome, man.
different
It's
perks,
accessible. It's fun. If someone can play it straight off the bat, you know that the gameplay is intuitive. Really cool, dude. It's all yours.
Okay, let's
Kid Cobra, he's coming
see if
for
I
you,
can
man.
match
He's
your
coming for you,
fury
dude.
that you.
Oh, man. Well, hopefully that's inspired you to get onto the Switch and get active. I love the fact that we are seeing more titles move across to the Switch. This really is a resurgence into that active, immersive gameplay. This really does, though, take it to an entirely different level. So thank you so much, Mr. Gareth Woods. Kick his butt, man. Come on. Use your... Whoa, you're doing something. You've got a rocket fist. I think we found a winner here.
I take big leaps. I make plans and backup plans. I just need my money to take me further.
Let your money take you further. Save or invest and get a great rate. Pay no monthly fees or commissions and get fully guaranteed capital. See money differently. Nedbank.
Now we turn our attention to the saving game. It's that time of the morning again to add our savings to our pledge jars. And this morning, of course, we've welcomed back to our gorgeous Leanne, who has been holidaying in the beautiful Thailand. Okay, I'm trying not to be sound venomous when I say that, but it looked like you had the most amazing time. And welcome home, love.
It's
We've
so good
missed
to
you
be
so
home.
much,
It's
man.
so good to be home.
So you are a little bit behind now. You would have hopefully heard and seen on our social media platforms, if you ever looked at your phone while you were sitting on beaches overseas, that we have taken a savings pledge. We have pledged to do away with one thing every day to save just that little bit so that it can build up. We can add it to our savings jars and do something special. So Zoe, just to paint the picture, what are you saving on?
So I've decided I need to eat out less once a week.
Okay.
So I'm saving on a dinner. So
All right.
instead I'll cook at home. So every week I'll put about 100 Rand into the jar, because generally that's what it would cost me
fantastic.
to go out for dinner by myself.
That's very cool. I like that.
Yeah, and I've been using baby's wipes to clean my car, clean the house. I've been wasting. Okay,
Are you serious?
So I've cut back and I'm already saving. I'm on almost 300 Rand now in the time that you've been gone. So
amazing.
what are you going to pledge to stop doing?
I need to save because naturally I'm broke now. Okay, after Thailand. But when I go to gym, I usually buy a smoothie. So it's around, a small one is around $40.
Yeah.
And I think that the reason I do that is so that I don't have to cook when I go home. So if I save that smoothie money, I could be making quite a little bit of
You could
savings.
be heading overseas
So
again.
Can I put that in the jar?
Yes.
Yeah,
Does
that's
that
just
mean
for
you-
one. This is just one workout.
You're
And
gonna
if I
save
go
a
3
lot,
times
eh?
a week, it'll be like,
$120.
there we go.
So you can see
Nice.
Lee's got a little savings jar right there, and we want
With an L on it.
Yeah.
Well, the cool thing about saving as well is we always have to have a goal in mind.
Yeah.
So what are you saving towards?
So I can go overseas again?
That's right.
I want to just travel. Travel's my thing.
The wanderlust has kicked in, but it's
we go.
amazing when you start adding it all up, and we'll do those calculations maybe in a week or two to see exactly how much you're going to save. But Zoe and I
it's right there.
are probably going to save, check at this, 40 Rand a day, 120 Rand a week, 480 a month, 5,670 a year. So maybe if you want
That's
to
just
add a little
giving
bit
up-
more in there,
Yeah,
maybe go to
free.
gym an extra time a week.
Exactly.
You know.
5 times a week. Look at how much I'll be saving.
But that's the thing, and Zoe and I are going to hit almost 8,000 Rand with our simple, tiny little savings.
That's incredible.
So that's as easy as it is. Remember, you want to join us in our savings pledge so that you can join this journey as well. Have you started saving? Let us know online using the hashtag #MySavingsPledge. We would love to hear from you.
That's right. Well, we're going to take a quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast show. When we get back, we'll take a look at this one particular viral video.
Oh, you seem so excited.
A naughty little dog getting caught stealing food. You don't want to miss out on that.
And then something you also don't want to miss out is the fantastic Grafese Brothers performs for us on your Feel Good Breakfast show. So much more to come.
Whoa,
Stay tuned.
man.
We'll
Whoa.
be right back.
Whoa.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
At Samsung, we develop technology so you can live life. Samsung, a way of life.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. And time for us to check out those funny, those interesting, those random things that we just happened to stumble across online and thought they were really hilarious. We should share them with you.
Gotta share.
We're definitely sharing them with you. Well, the first one comes from a video Carol Kolb posted online, and it's basically a video of her dog stealing dog food. Now, the caption says that the pantry was left open accidentally, but you can see the sneaky dog take the entire bag of dog food and whoops, he's gone. There you go.
You can almost see him tiptoe. You're like, tick, tick.
But
That is so funny.
He knew that that was his food.
Yeah.
Oh, that is very, very sweet. So this, you can see where this sits on the scale of sweet to not so sweet. We've all wondered what our kids get up to when we are nowhere to be seen. Well, Board Panda, who we are absolutely loving as a resource of all things hilarious, they've done a little photo collage, montage of what your child might be getting up to if left alone. And this... that dog did not paint itself.
My
No,
goodness.
it's a Dalmatian.
That is so cute.
The children are the future.
Why?
Oh my word.
Oh,
Ouch.
I'll
A
take
lot
you
of
out and leave you in the
parents'
snow,
hearts.
okay? Literally
never
with his
leave the
hand
jam
in
unattended.
the cookie jar. It's like,
Oh,
that's
so
amazing.
cute.
Boom. Oh, that is
so
brilliant,
funny.
man.
Well, anyways, I found this story. A mom and daughter. Mom's name is Aaliyah, daughter's name is Stephanie. They have this thing where they allow themselves to play with their food. And what they've done is Aaliyah holds a piece of fruit or even vegetables at exactly the right angle. And then it
perspective,
appears
yeah.
as Stephanie is wearing some really glamorous dresses. So look at that. Oh, that's
That is proper
cauliflower.
sweet.
That's cute.
Oh
Is there
my
another
goodness.
one?
the watermelon
That
dress.
is
I've seen a
very
lot
nice.
of people online playing around with the
With
watermelon
watermelon
dress.
dress.
This is clever,
That is
man.
very nice.
And empowering for that little one.
I
You can see
know.
she is just a
She's
born
loving
natural at wearing
Very
food.
clever.
I don't know if that's a future career. No, that's
Clever
just
way to
too
get your
sweet.
kids to also eat their veggies.
Exactly. And for the veggies to be cool.
See, Jack's going to be wearing a cauliflower dress. Oh, no, very sweet. Well, you can let us know on our social media platforms what you thought of those stories. Have we missed any cool videos, pictures, anything that's trending on your timeline? Let it trend on ours as well. Now, time for a magical performance. As promised this morning, we are joined by the cast from the fantastic Graffizi Brothers production, The Story of the Moon. Designed and produced by the team that brought South Africa Madam Zingara, this dynamic and inclusive concept showcases a truly unique theatrical food and outdoor experience for people of all ages. So sit tight and get ready to be blown away. Oh, I don't know. Are you done croaking? Are we done croaking? Shanae Portketa, that was phenomenal. You're going to grab a microphone there. That was awesome. The best part, watching our cameramen trying to follow your body positions. That is fantastic. Obviously, you're taking a wonderful role in what sounds like a truly magical production, but I've got to ask you, something like contortionism, how do you get drawn into that? What was your background? What drew you to this discipline?
It's kind of crazy. I started with something simple like acrobatics and gymnastics. I went to watch the circus, and there was a contortionist, and I looked to my mum and I say, "That's what I'm going to do." And she goes, "Oh, yeah, sure." And 3 years later, I was working for the circus.
3 years, looking at your skill level, it seems like a very short amount of time. It's like, Mom, I'm bendy, I can do that. How much do you have to train and condition your body to be able to do this? I'm hurting, my back is going like, just watching you do this. How do you condition yourself?
I went to the gym about 6 days a week, training for 2 hours a day, just stretching. Only stretching, and then that's strength for the real difficult tricks, but 2 hours a day. 6 days a week.
Insane, like a professional athlete. And it translates well. And obviously, being a part of a production like this allows you to explore a different side of contortionism.
Yes,
and it really does look like something, a throwback, a bohemian style, magical experience, which I love. And we know Madame Zingara was amazing. And this looks like it takes it to an even new magical level. What's the production like? How do you kind of describe it?
It's definitely something different, something that I can say I've never worked on before, and I've worked in a few circuses by now, and this is something unique. And what I love to see is that it's not just entertaining for the children, but also for the adults, the grandparents, and the cast that we're working with is excellent.
Being a part of a variety show like that, is it inspiring to you? Because I would imagine you kind of go into this bubble where it's all about your training and all about your craft. Now you're sharing the stage with Lillian Kumara, all these amazing performers. What's that element of the show like?
It's exciting because they all bring something different. They all bring something new, and they're so nice, and they motivate you to be a better person, to be a better artist, to do your best every show. It doesn't matter if there's 20 or 200 or 5,000 people. You do your best every show, and for me, that's quite inspiring.
Oh man, well, you're inspiring as the frog. We love you. We're going to get more croaks this morning, but we've got the whole cast here, or at least some of those star performers here, to give you just a little taste of what you can expect. And all of those details are up on screen right now of how you can get in on the act running up until the end of the school holidays in Fishhook. You have an opportunity, not just you, but your entire family, to go on a magical journey. But right now, let's get back down to earth for a moment and get into our news headlines.
Thank you so much, Graham. In the national news this morning, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange is undergoing a program that includes around 60 job cuts. According to the Stock Exchange, this will produce savings of about 170 million rand. Chief Executive Nikki Newton-King attributes South Africa's low economic growth and credit downgrades to the decision. The JSE, which employs around 430 staff, will also cut its technology operating expenditure. The investigation into Eskom by Parliament will get underway later this month, with MPs still to decide on the first witnesses to be called. Acting chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Public Enterprises, Zukiswa Ranto, says that they will meet on July the 27th and the hearing will be on August the 1st. Last month, the committee decided to call former chairpersons of the Eskom board, executives and ex-executives to the hearing. These include Ben Ngubane, Zola Tsotsi, Chidiso Matona, Machela Koka and Brian Malefe. Now moving further abroad, a cholera outbreak in war-torn Yemen is thought to have infected 300,000 people in the past 10 weeks, the International Committee of the Red Cross says. The situation has continued to spiral out of control, with about 7,000 new cases every day, the ICRC warned. According to the UN, more than 1,700 associated deaths have also been reported. Yemen's health, water and sanitation services, or rather systems, are collapsing after 2 years of conflict between pro-government forces and the rebel Houthi movement. And then finally, Donald Trump has backtracked on the proposal to work with Russia to create an impenetrable cybersecurity unit to prevent election hacking. Hours of promoting the idea of the weekend The US president said that he did not think it could actually happen. It comes after Mr. Trump's first face-to-face talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Germany on Friday, in which the pair discussed the issue, which has since been ridiculed by senior Republicans. Well, that was your 7 o'clock news update. Let's get a look at what's happening in the world of sport. Here's Graham.
Cricket still dominating our local headlines this morning in Proteas placement. Vernon Philander has moved back into the top 10 of the ICC Test rankings despite South Africa's loss to England in that first test. The former world #1 took 3 wickets for 67 runs in England's first innings before suffering a hand injury which saw him miss most of that first match. Hopefully he'll be okay for the second test, with Kagiso Rabada now suspended for that match. That second match between the Proteas and England gets underway at Trent Bridge this Friday. Staying with cricket, Zimbabwe earned their first ever ODI series win in Sri Lanka yesterday as they saw out a 3-wicket victory over their hosts in Hambantota. That was after restricting Sri Lanka to 203. Zimbabwe successfully chased down that winning target with 12 overs remaining to seal a 3-2 series win. The result sees the African side earn their first overseas ODI series victory in 8 years. Then bringing it back home, Cape Town City captain Lebogang Manyama was named the 2016-2017 Footballer of the Year at a glittering Premier Soccer League Awards in Stanton last night. Manyama ended the season as the PSL top goal scorer, which helped his side, of course, to a third-place finish in their maiden season and the Telkom Knockout Trophy. It was in their first season as a top-flight club. Also on the night, Gavin Hunt walked away with the Coach of the Season award. It was after leading Bidvest Wits to their first ever PSL title. Then a shock in Wimbledon. 2-time Wimbledon champion Rafa Nadal was knocked out of the grass court Grand Slam yesterday after an epic 5-set loss to Gilles Muller. Nadal tied up the match after being 2 sets down, but Muller ended up on top in that final set, eventually winning 28th game marathon by 15-13. What an encounter. Elsewhere on the day, heartache for South Africa's Kevin Anderson as well. He lost out to Sam Querrey in 5 sets, while there were a round of 16 wins for Roger Federer, looking very strong, Andy Murray, and of course Venus Williams. And that's where we leave our sport for now.
Well, let's take another look at the roads, starting off in Gauteng and Highveld. On the N1 southbound, traffic is slow moving. That's from the N14 Brakfontein interchange and Olifantsfontein Road. In Durban and Umhlanga, there's some congestion. That's on the M41 highway southbound approaching the N2 interchange. And in Cape Town at University State, there's a stationary vehicle on the N2 inbound. It's in the center lane at Hospital Bend, so you can expect some major delays on that route. That's where we leave your traffic for now, but we'll take a look at your weather, and it seems like most parts of the country can expect a drop in temperatures with an icy start to the morning, reaching cool but partly cloudy conditions. Polokwane starting off a low of 6, reaching a high of 22. Mbombela 10, 26, Pretoria 7, 23, Johannesburg 6, 23, Mahikeng 9, 26, Klerksdorp 8 with a high of 27, Kimberley 5, 24, Bloemfontein 2 with a high of 24, Richards Bay 16, 23, Pietermaritzburg 10, 19, Durban 16, 20, Mthatha 4 with a high of 16. Partly cloudy conditions for East London 8 with a high of 18, Cradock starting off a cool -1, reaching a high of 16, Port Elizabeth 7, 17, George 6, 14, Sutherland -4 reaching 10, and in Cape Town today, sunny conditions, a low of 6 with a high of 15, Worcester starting off a -2 reaching a high of 13, Springbok 4, 18, and in Uppington, expect a low of 7 with a high of 24. Well, that's where we leave your weather on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Clover Fresh milk is way better. Made with love by Clover.
So it is a Tuesday, so we thought we'd delve into some hashtag Tuesday thoughts to ponder upon, to echo the words of Knight's Day. They came in with quite a cool meme there. Traveling, it leaves you speechless, then it turns you into a storyteller. That was written by Ibon Batuta. Ziggy, who has been very awake this morning. No matter what you lose in life, never lose that sense of wonder. I think that's something that we strive for constantly here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This one coming from Sir Isaac S.A. Some people will not support you because they're afraid of what you might become. Don't let them stand in your way. Ziggy coming in with another one. You can allow the darkness to consume you or channel it to make the world a better place. And he's got Darth Vader up against Batman. I don't know who would win that one. And then this one, Dr. Mashur Gulati. I'm pretty sure stealing the words of Dumbledore. Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the lights. So turn on the lights today and continue to share those hashtag Tuesday thoughts with us.
So how does this sound? For only R5 a month, you can open a pay-as-you-use account from Nedbank. Now, it's a fully transparent account and it has everything you need, from unlimited swipes and free cell phone and online banking. It really is incredible for just R5 a month. And what's quite cool is the Nedbank pay-as-you-use account that's been designed to keep you in control of what you use and what you pay. And it's absolutely incredible for only R5 a month.
Wow. And of course, because it's National Savings Month, we've made it really easy for you to get all of the information that you need. All you have to do is SMS this word, Ned Pay You, it's one word, to 30755, and we will be in touch. Trust me, it's really worth checking out. And those SMSs are free, and the terms and conditions can be found at www.nedbank.co.za.
I'm a dreamer, a doer. I know the hustle. I just need my money to hustle for me.
Let your money hustle for you. Get a bank account for R5 per month and bank on the Nedbank app without using any data. See money differently. Nedbank.
We're going to take a very quick break, after which we're going to proclaim that our parking woes are ended. Sounds very interesting to me. Then, of course, we open the lines for our regular Tuesday health chat. And this morning, very important discussion that you can join. We are chatting about infertility. We'll see you for that after the break.
Struggle with commitment? Before trying anywhere else, book on Travel Start. We will turn your guilt trips into good trips. Book flights from R499, only on travelstart.co.za.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. And we all know how frustrating and time-consuming it can be to find parking in the city. Now, what if I told you that there was an app that could make your commute that much easier? In a handful of seconds, Park Find will tell you exactly where the nearest open parking space is. This morning, we have Zunaid Logday and Joshua Lindenberg, the innovative thinkers behind the app, joining us in the studio to tell us a little bit more, give us more information to find out exactly what Park Find is all about. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Morning.
Zunaid, I need to ask you, I kind of always wondered, someone should invent an app like this, and you guys just did that. What was the concept behind it?
Well, I wish I could say it was a sort of aha moment, but in reality, it's evolved over a period of time. We've been fortunate enough to have the available technology in each of the parking bays, sensors, real-time sensors. And then also, we've been fortunate in the growing consumer and technology trends, mobile penetration, on-demand services, real-time convenience, payment technologies. And I said to myself, we've got good, real-time, accurate data coming from these sensors, and let's use all these prevailing trends, put them together, and package the data in an easily an intuitive format for the motorists, and that was an app.
Oh.
So it's an idea as time has come.
Yes, well, you know what? I think it's incredible because, the name itself explains it, Park Find. Joshua, how exactly does this app work? You say it's free to download onto your phone.
So the app is free. Motorists can download it on the iOS and Android platforms. Behind the app is a number of layers of data. That data is reconciled on the back end and provided to the motorist in a visual format that makes it easy for them to use on a daily basis. Motorists can view parking in a map format, a search format, or a list format, as well as make payment through the app.
That's incredible. Now, I'm imagining this app is there to make your life so much easier. What other benefits does the app find?
Look, obviously the first is it's time saving. Okay. Second, massive CO2 savings, because you're not cruising, traveling around, looking for parking. Up to 40% of all congestion in a city centre is caused by motorists searching for parking.
Or hovering, waiting.
Exactly. So there's a traffic decongestion as well. Cape Town CBD is only getting more and more congested. So if you can find your place easier,
amazing.
Less congestion.
Yeah.
And then, finally, just better placemaking. It's an easier place to travel around in if you don't have to be cruising all the time.
Yeah. And Joshua, I want to know from you, currently the app is only for Cape Town?
Correct. So the app's currently only available in the Cape Town CBD as it stands.
Yeah. Plans to expand?
In short, I would say yes. Definitely Southern Africa as well as Africa going forward.
Amazing. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thank you for making life so much easier. And I'm pretty sure this app is going to be bound to make our lives stress-free. But for more information, you can go onto the app. You can visit parkfind.co.za.
Look at her, she's dancing. You know why? Because
feels today.
We are making something so amazing. Amy Hopkins, we absolutely love you. You know that. We love you that much more when you bring some deliciousness to our kitchen. And I think brownies, we love them because it's the best of both worlds. It's kind of like a cookie and a cake and a biscuit and everything all rolled into one.
Good comfort food for winter. Lots of good chocolate.
Often not the healthiest,
exactly.
Because they generally are loaded with wheat flour. So we're going to change all
sugar.
that.
So, so these are gluten-free brownies, and they're packed with protein, extra room from all the nuts, and we've got some lovely coconut oils kind of serving as our butter replacements. They're also dairy-free, and super, super high in antioxidants, raw cacao, as well as cacao nibs, which add a little bit of crunch as well. So really, really good and healthy for you and delicious. So
this is genius. Dive right in. I want to be dancing by the end of the segment, okay? So where do we start?
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we've just melted some coconut oil gently over the stove. Normally it comes in quite a thick white texture, especially now in winter. winter, as it's cooler, it just kind of stays solid. So if you just gently warm about 300 grams, you're just going to mix this into
and
the
you can get kind of flavorless, odorless coconut
exactly.
oil now.
But
So
the thing is, exactly, you can get odorless, but I like the smell of coconut anywhere, and you'll see we've got some desiccated coconut in here, which we're going to mix. It's lovely.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing about coconut is that a lot of people feel a little bit scared about it because it's a fat, but in fact it helps reduce your bad cholesterol. So it's really good for you and actually promotes weight loss. So don't be scared of the fat.
And it's got a really high smoking point as well, so it's going to take a very high temperature to actually break it down.
So it's really good for using for like stir fries and stuff as well. You can use it as a moisturizer. It's super versatile.
Throw a little bit of sugar in there, scrub.
Exactly. Okay, so now we're going to just add some of our lovely nuts. We've got almond flour here. This is great for extra protein, and this is kind of acting as our flour replacement, as well as the desiccated coconuts, a little bit of texture, and our lovely cacao nibs over here. So we just look at all these lovely things going in.
I love it because a brownie, the best part of a brownie is that contrast in textures.
Exactly.
You want it to be soft and squishy, but it's got to have a little backbone, a little crunch
I like
somewhere.
the little surprise of crunch, and you can use any kinds of nuts, really. Like we've got almonds here, but we're also going to add a nice big scoop of macadamia nut butter, which is my absolute favorite. It's also really, really creamy and rich. I mean, look at that, just like gorgeous.
You're not holding back, eh?
Why would you, really? The other thing that's really great about macadamia nuts is that it's super, super high in monounsaturated fatty acids, so it's really, really good for heart health. And
this is a brownie that might actually lower your cholesterol. I'm just saying, please, I'm not a medical expert, okay?
And I mean, help you lose weight.
But it really is. What a brilliant substitute. The key word here is chocolate to 33728. If you'd like this amazing ingredients list sent straight to you. So now you can see it behind the scenes. I was working tirelessly to whip up our
working those guns hard.
I love you, Steph. I love you, Steph. Our in-house chef did all the hard work, I promise you.
No, she's been sweating it up here. These are about 6 eggs whisked, as you can see by hand.
I know, you've got to go old school with making bone. She made it with love, you see.
Yes, that is the key ingredient, really, in all my recipes.
I know this. I know that's why they turn out so well. So how do we get that to become this?
So we just getting this to combine, and as soon as we've got it all mixed together, because what you can see is it's really starting to get very thick. The almond flour actually absorbs a lot of the liquid, so you would almost think it was too runny initially, but once you start mixing it in, it becomes beautiful and thick. And the coconut, also the desiccated coconut, it's like a real liquid absorber. So look at that.
Helping it all bind and get gooey. So while we decant that into our tray, so that we can pop it into the oven. Just very quickly, how long in the oven?
So you want to do about 10 minutes. You can do a little bit longer. Exactly. I mean, super quick dessert. If you like your brownies to be a little bit drier, I hate using the word dry because that doesn't mean it's any worse, but you can just do about 12 to 14. But I like brownies to be slightly on the gooey side.
And then we arrive at that keyword again is chocolate to 33728. We'll send you a link with that ingredients list. And then the rest is yours to enjoy, which I'm going to do the taste test right now. Amy, you're a legend. She is sticking around all morning. My word.
Good, and I mean, that's a great post-workout little snack as well because of all the protein. So.
Amy, you're a genius. Ladies, I will save you one. I'll save you one.
He's lying.
Well, this is your Feel Good Breakfast show. Time for us to now turn our attention to our Medical Tuesdays. And in South Africa, 1 in 6 couples are diagnosed with infertility. What exactly does this mean? Well, the World Health Organization, they've defined infertility as the inability to achieve a clinical pregnancy after 12 or more months of trying. Now, they also classify it as a disease and has often been dismissed as a woman's problem. Now, the truth of the matter is that men can just as easily suffer from it. And for that, we have Dr. Darren Green in studio to answer your questions, inform us a little bit more, and our lines are open. Do you have a comment or a question about infertility? Give us a call, 021 430 9881.
Dr. Darren Green in the house, how are you?
Great, thank you.
So good to have you here. Now, we all know that infertility, it's something that a lot of people that I know have experienced. It's not a nice situation. But let's talk about the misconceptions first and foremost that are surrounding it when it comes to infertility treatment. A lot of people think that you'll have things like triplets and quadruplets. I used to think that. Is there any truth to those misconceptions?
There is some truth to that. And in South Africa, for example, there's no law governing the amount of embryos that are lawfully allowed to be implanted. That's in the case of IVF, which is your test tube babies, your in vitro fertilization. Whereas in Europe, for example, they have what's called single embryo implantations that occur. So yes, there can be. Generally, the age of the patient is quite important. Under the age of 35, they normally won't put more than 2 fertilized eggs, obviously, in the uterus. And older than 35, often they do, will consider putting more. So in South Africa, the law, as I say, doesn't govern it, whereas in Italy, Belgium, and Europe, for example, they can do single embryonic implants.
Okay. Interesting. Dr. Darren, let's quickly talk about some of the continuing the myths around infertility. Is it true? I read in a study in, I think it was South Korea, where they said that men that are exposed to a lot of noise in rooms, like in a noisy room, they are more prone to infertility. Is there truth to that?
Yeah, it's a very interesting study, that, anyway, because, you know, obviously it's a multifactorial thing that actually affects fertility in males. Stress certainly does. So it depends on the music, depends on the time of day, it depends on where you're at emotionally at that time. So with men, in terms of the amount of sperms produced and the quality of that sperm, there's so many factors. Music is still an interesting one. The evidence is still a bit lacking for the amount of you know, bulk behind it.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if this is a question that I can ask, because it's a difficult one, but is something like infertility curable, or is it just a no-go area?
What people need to understand is, per definition, infertility, you know, obviously older than 35, it's actually 6 months. Not falling pregnant with unprotected intercourse for 6 months, and under 35, obviously 12 months. So I mentioned that in the view that some people think there's a guarantee that if you go for infertility treatment, or what they call artificial reproductive treatment, you're going to have a guarantee to fall pregnant, and there's no guarantee, I'm afraid. So when it comes to being curable, excuse me, one would look at the cause. So the cause could lie on so many different levels when it comes to infertility, from the quality of on the male side, quality of the sperm, erectile dysfunction, whether they swim too slow, whether they're abnormal in shape or morphology, etc. And with a lady, obviously, you look at, is she ovulating? Are the ovaries working, etc.?
Well, of course, we're going to continue our talk with Dr. Darren Green about infertility. If you have any questions or comments, why don't you give us a call, 021 430 9881. We're here for all of your questions.
So we're going to continue that discussion around infertility, and we're going to welcome the ladies into that discussion after the break. Then, Amy Hopkins, you are on fire this morning. We're going to continue on our gluten-free trend. We have got blueberry and banana muffins on the way. Sans the wheat. They look delicious. We'll help you through a little blow-by-blow after the break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. We're back with Dr. Darren Green. We're talking to him about infertility this morning. We've spoken about misconceptions. Is it curable? And now I want to speak about IVF as well, because I know that a lot of people have been thinking about it. It's a word that's gone around. Is that an option for people that are struggling with infertility?
Yes, so it would depend on where the problem is as to why they can't fall pregnant. So on the male side, obviously, it could be a problem with dispersing the sperm or abnormal sperm. Yeah. It can't swim fast, the structure's different, etc. And then obviously on the female side, they could just not be producing eggs. And ovulation, it's called. Yeah. So we have to look at that. And then obviously, structurally, there could be problems in the tubes, the fallopian tubes, blockages, distal or proximal. That would need to be obviously treated or looked at and diagnosed first. IVF is obviously when the problem lies structurally within the tubes, etc., and you can't inseminate as such naturally. So you basically have to inseminate artificially in vitro and then implant that embryo into the uterus.
But it's not a guarantee.
Yeah, it's not a guarantee, as I mentioned earlier. So people need to understand that IVF is certainly an option, but it would depend on your individual circumstance in your as a couple as to whether that would be the right one. Because we have, for example, artificial insemination, which is much cheaper, where if the problem is the sperm not reaching the egg, then you have artificially sperms injected and placed at the right place so they can basically fertilize the ovum if the woman's ovulating normally. Okay. So yeah, so IVF, very, very, very success rates between 20 and 30%. Yeah. Obviously quite an expensive thing, but there's a lot to be said about that too.
Okay, Doctor, we have a caller on the line. Anonymous, good morning.
Sure.
Good morning.
What's your comment and question for Dr. Darren Green?
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Green.
Good morning.
I just want to know, my husband and I, we've been busy with fertility now for about 19 years. Mm-hmm. I had an appointment with the doctor to have my test done to see the levels of, the eggs. And they said it's a bit very low. And I also have some fluid in my fallopian tubes. I only found out now after a whole lot of tests that it actually can be drained out. So I'm very ecstatic about that. Okay. I just wanted to know, will I be able to fall pregnant then on my own, or do I need donor eggs to be able to fall pregnant? That's my question. Thank you.
Great question. Thank you for calling in. So she mentions two things. The first one, there's fluid in the tubes. Sure, they can look at obviously removing that fluid. The question is, why is it there in the first place? Yeah. Is there hydrosalpinx? Is it recurring, and so forth? If the tubes are a problem, then they're going to look at IVF as an option. So in terms of the egg, she mentioned a hormone that they test for. That's called anti-malarial hormone. It gives you an indication of the ovum or the egg production and quality, etc. So that's the hormone that is low in her case. If she can't produce her own eggs, then she'd have to possibly consider donor eggs and IVF as an option.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I mean, there's so much that we want to still continue chatting about. Also, what is the causes of female infertility? Because like we just heard now with Anonymous, I think that there are a lot of things that could potentially go wrong. So we want to get into that. If you have a call, give us a call, please. 021 430 9881. Let's head to the kitchen one more time.
Yeah, I have to reiterate, we've got a wonderful resource in the doctor, so please phone in with your questions now. Wielding her wooden spoon this morning and creating magic in the process, Amy Hopkins has already helped us make some gluten-free brownies. Now we're going to turn our attention to some banana and blueberry muffins, another one of my kind of cheat foods that I'll give to myself when I've been good, i.e. when I've trained for like 5 hours that day. But now we've again removed the wheat flour and we're replacing it with all sorts of interesting, and again, our coconut oil, part of the Disclaimer Lifestyle range, virgin coconut oil, finds its way in. Take me through what we need for this, another wondrous recipe.
Another healthy snack. So, like the brownies we had earlier, often when you buy muffins store-bought, they're packed with sugar, packed with bad, exactly, all additional things. And they're really, really easy to make at home and great. They keep for the week, have them at work, after your workout and everything. So, yes. So, I'm going to get you to whisk some eggs for me.
These are bite-sized, eh? I'm thinking like how many I can
exactly, like at least this many in one go. So what we've got here is instead of using normal wheat flour, we're going to use a combination of almond flour and coconut flour. We've got some beautiful virgin coconut oil. The thing with coconut oil, again, I mean, it's so versatile. I love using it as a butter replacement. Is to just make sure you use really good quality oil. And obviously being extra virgin, like your extra virgin olive oils, it's really pure, like all of that. So
and it's got great like, antibacterial qualities,
exactly,
which I didn't realize, antifungal.
Acid, exactly, the lauric acid in coconut oil is brilliant for antibacterial, antifungal. And that looks pretty good. Okay, so we're going to add some banana. You can put it back down.
You're pretty tight with your compliments, eh? That's above average. I mean, we'll take that one. It's okay.
Okay, so we're going to add some banana. And what I've done here is we've almost crushed half the blueberries.
You beat up.
Yeah.
You just went and beat them up. You just punched them and bruised them a little bit.
And I think in total here I've got about a cup of blueberries. And I mean, just in 1 cup of blueberries, that's already a third of your vitamin C for the day.
Wow.
That's almost half of your vitamin K, which helps with blood clotting and all those other good healthy things. So this is really an amazing, like, immune booster, body healthy booster muffin recipe.
And for someone who's feeling hard done by, you're going to get your sugar in the blueberry, and I know they can be quite tart. And banana.
So
of course,
the banana is obviously lovely and naturally sweet. We've got about 2 to 3 bananas here.
And the banana's kind of midway on the glycemic index. It's not right up there with a lot of the fruit.
Yeah, exactly. So there we go. Now it's forming this beautiful consistency. Let's just add a little bit of coconut oil here as well.
So I think that's people get nervous when replacing your wheat flours that you're not going to get the density, that same kind of consistency. But I've been amazed both with the brownie and this, how immediately you get that firm texture. So the key word here is sweet to 33728. As always, we'll send you a link. You click on the link and the recipe is yours.
I'm just going to save one of these for one.
Just work on that vitamin C quota for the day, you know?
Exactly. I mean, that's all I'm doing right now.
I mean, it looks like a proper dough.
And now you just kind of spoon about tablespoonfuls into these little guys. They are, like we said, little bite-sized snacks. I mean, you're going to cook them for about 15 or so minutes at 180 degrees. And yeah, they're
just
perfect.
Like the brownies, that's quick, man.
Exactly.
It's like spending an entire afternoon. Literally, we've made these in real time. By the end of the show, we're going to have 2 full-on snacks.
Exactly. We're going to be rolling out of here later.
Really, really is an ingenious way. And if anyone is worried about taking in too much wheat, taking in too much sugar, it doesn't mean that you have to deny yourself the pleasures of life.
That's the whole thing. Is they're such great substitutes. You know, it's just about thinking a little bit outside of the box and realizing that you can get all your lovely natural sugars from your beautiful fruits. You can get so many really cool alternative flours nowadays.
Yeah, you can get your comfort food for winter.
Exactly. And while it's also full of protein, again, we've got, you know, the almonds, we've got all the eggs here, of course. So
you've ticked to every box, and then, of course, they come out looking amazing
just like that.
So I'm going to grab one of these
for
myself.
I'm going to
earned one. You've earned one, Amy. Well done. Absolutely
Breakfast
stupendous.
time.
So that keyword, again, is sweet to 33728 while we do a taste test.
Yes, exactly. Moist.
No, it's absolutely amazing.
Oh, thank you. You guys are having way too much fun in the kitchen there. That's all I'm going to say. Well, we've still got Dr. Darren Green in the house for one more health chat. And, of course, we're talking about infertility this morning. Dr. Darren, the question that I asked you is, what are some of the causes for female infertility?
Yeah, so if you can't ovulate and you're not producing eggs, obviously the problem is, the most common one is PCOS, polycystic ovarian disease. And that involves cysts, basically large cysts placed within the ovaries that prevent its function. You often have associations with cysts in the kidneys and elsewhere as well. So that obviously endometriosis, which is really the presence of uterine tissue elsewhere in the gut or abdomen even as well. And that obviously then tubes, the abnormal fallopian tubes that are damaged because of infections that aren't treated properly, for example. Pelvic inflammatory disease is another big one for ladies. And then fibroids of the uterus, which are tumors in the muscle layers of the uterus, are also a very big cause. So those are the most common ones. And then in males, obviously, the causes would be the different abnormalities of sperm. Abnormal shape, can't swim fast enough, or too little in terms of the volume. So those are also quite important to mention.
So if you're diagnosed with infertility, what are the signs you need to look out for?
Yeah, so the big thing is the definition, knowing that even after coming off a contraceptive of sorts, you don't fall pregnant with unprotected intercourse within a period of 6 months if you're older than 35, or 12 months if you're younger than 35. That's when you'd start looking as to the why. And the history taking is very important. You'll find often there's an identifiable problem, either in the time that people are copulating of the month, and they're not exactly sure as to when the best time is for the best chance naturally and normally. And also you find in the history taking that that might allude to other diseases like type diabetes, polycystic ovarian disease, etc., that you can then treat. Sometimes even thyroid hormone problems.
Yeah, I know that most people look at this as a woman's problem, but you said no, the problem can be with men as well. Let's talk about male infertility.
Yes.
What are some of the causes that bring along male infertility?
So there are some genetics that play a role, sometimes conditions like Klinefelter's, which is an abnormal chromosome disorder. Then you often have things, post-viral infections. Mumps, for example, causes orchitis in males, can affect your sperm production. And then, of course, there are a lot of mechanical things as well that can occur in terms of heat exposure, the wrong underwear, certain activities and so forth. And then notwithstanding, obviously, erectile dysfunction as such as an entity.
Okay. Well, Dr. Darren Green, I've always wanted to know, you know, for girls or ladies on the pill,
yes,
does that in any way affect your fertility? Do you have to take a break from the pill, or is it okay to use it, you know, from high school up until whenever you want to?
Yeah, my opinion on the pill is obviously you want to use the pill as short a time as possible in your lifespan. So planning your family, planning contraception at essential times involves obviously you deciding who's going to take the responsibility for contraception in the relationship and at what time, because you find most people on oral contraceptives, for example, for a period of 15 to 20 years. And we all know the side effects, and we all know, obviously, the increased risk of things on estrogen therapy specifically, of breast cancer, etc. So certainly, taking a pill break is not necessarily something that's going to help you. In fact, a lot of people have glipsies, and they fall pregnant while taking that pill break. But it does obviously differ whether you're on the injection or the pill as to your return to fertility time. If you had an intrauterine device like the Mirena, for example, a lot of people fall pregnant quite quickly immediately after it's removed.
Okay.
So they need to be aware of that too.
Okay.
Oh, well, of course, it's been so wonderful chatting about infertility. So very, very helpful. And I certainly hope that everybody at home felt the same way. Of course, this is something that we continue chatting about for a while to come. Well, Dr. Darren Green is not going anywhere. We will be chatting to him some more. But after the break, we are talking about our international entertainment news. And someone else is speaking out. Black China this time. Of course, we know about the whole Black China and Rob Kardashian saga.
It's messy. And then, of course, we're also going to talk some healthy skin. In fact, sensitive skin, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you after the break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Welcome back. Expresso right here on your Tuesday morning. Time for us to now take a look at our international entertainment news. And you're shaking your head already.
Because I don't know whether to laugh or cry or just
cringe.
shake my head or cringe. Well, it seems that Black China has broken her silence about the whole Kardashian and video saga. But don't take our word for it. Why don't you hear from China herself?
The moral of the story is, like, he doesn't respect me. So if you can't respect me, you have to respect the law.
Have any of the Kardashians reached out to you since these posts?
No, ma'am.
Okay, that's quite interesting. That's Black China giving her account on why she's taking legal action against her ex, Rob Kardashian. She was appearing on Good Morning America, and the reality star also addressed why she sent him the video of her with another man in the first place.
I've been broken up with Rob since December. And it's like if somebody keeps poking at you and poking at you and poking at you and keep poking at you, you're gonna pop. And so I was just like, maybe if I send this video to him, then he'll just leave me alone.
Now,
oh,
okay.
It's not a little like vindictive, like I'm gonna get you, you get me.
Yeah. Anyway,
Very
so
toxic.
the question is, will Rob and the rest of the Kardashians be leaving China alone, or will they too take legal action against her? I suppose we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm like, if you're gonna send somebody a video with you and another man, the chances of it landing up on the internet are pretty good. So,
well, I'm really impressed that the sisters have kept mum about this.
Yeah.
I think this is now Rob's situation to sort out.
Rob, honestly, he needs to take a break from social media. Anyways, just a few days ago, we reported on how interesting it was that Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner are going on vacation together. Even more odd is the fact that Ben already has a new girlfriend just 3 months after his divorce from Jen. Ben stepped out with a brand new lady. Now, the blonde beauty, whose name is Lindsay Shukas, is no stranger to entertainment either, and she's the producer of the hit TV show Saturday Night Live. No word on how long they've been dating, but an insider says it's early days and they're taking things slow. Not slow enough, I tell you. 3 months after you got divorced.
But they've been separated for how long as well? So you need to factor that in. But like they said, it's early days. We'll have to wait and see what will come from it. Well, you know, some people always move on quicker than others.
Hollywood is interesting, hey? You're going on vacation with your ex-wife, but you're bringing your new girlfriend along. Oh,
only in Hollywood. There you go. That was our international entertainment news for you this morning. We will have another update for you tomorrow.
Well, from the stars to the movies, the Expresso New Metro Club keeps on giving. And the best part, the club covers the latest films in the best formats. And sometimes we just throw in an exceptional, exclusive cinema-going experience as well. So this week, we bring you an extra special movie event like no other by transporting cinema-goers to a first screening and a full entertainment event of Valerian, the City of 1,000 Planets.
World-renowned director Luc Besson, best known for The Fifth Element, treats movie fans to yet another once-in-a-lifetime film spectacular. When a dark force threatens the existence of a vast metropolis of the future, two special operatives are the only chance of salvation. Be the first in South Africa to experience Besson's masterpiece, Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets, at a special screening event on the 20th of July. With themed drinks, food and entertainment, New Metro's exclusive VIP cinema in Hyde Park will be transformed into the City of 1,000 Planets. Tickets and more info for this showcase movie event can be found on the New Metro website. New Metro, it's your scene.
Well, we continue with our Medical Tuesdays, and many people who suffer from skin sensitivity and are not left knowing what the causes is and how they can even treat it. Now, educating yourself about the ingredients and the formulas in your products is absolutely key to understanding how to take better care of your skin. But with sensitive skin, what products can you trust? That's the question that we're asking. So Dr. Darren Green is still in studio with us this morning, but this time he's here to tell us how DermiCalp can help to be used to help soothe skin sensitivity or sensitive skin. Dr. Darren Green, so good to have you in the house.
Thank you.
Okay, so I know a lot of people with sensitive skin, but I also know that those of us who don't necessarily struggle with it won't know the psychological impact that it has on you when you have problem skin.
Yep.
So can we maybe first talk about the emotional impact that sensitive skin can have on you psychologically?
Sure. So we look at the biopsychosocial model, which is quite interesting. So biologically, you have the sensitive skin, the rash, the irritated skin, which leads to social interaction problems, whether your child is 1 year old, 3 year old, 5 years old, what that happens at school with teasing, exclusion, rejection, that kind of thing. And then obviously the parents. Everyone thinks it's contagious. My poor child looks terrible. So obviously we find with these irritated and hypersensitive skins, we then find that people are emotionally scarred, and it affects their social development from a young age all the way through into teenagers, for example, developing skin problems.
Exactly.
It's so self-conscious and wanting to expose yourself, for example, during sport and swimming. You can imagine, you're just shy.
The face is the first thing people see,
Correct. And it's the biggest organ in the human body, and it's the
yeah.
first point of contact, obviously, with the outside world. It's your first impression.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the triggers that can cause skin sensitivity or even just aggravate it even more.
For sure. Some of the big ones are heat. Obviously, the sun is quite important there, and stress. Now, stress on the skin can be caused by many things, from an article of clothing or the wrong material causing friction, all the way through to wind and having wind-chapped lips, for example, and then, of course, sun exposure. So putting the skin under that stress or swimming in conditions like Antarctica or salt water repeatedly, all can obviously cause issues of irritation to the skin directly.
Now, we were talking about ingredients inside certain products that are key to helping with skin sensitivity.
Yes.
I know that Dermicalp definitely offers a wide range of products for different skin sensitivities. Can you take us through some of those?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. So why it caught my eye is the fact that it's a natural product. In other words, it's cortisone-free. Now, cortisone obviously is a steroid that we use in a lot of anti-inflammatory topicals on different parts of the body in different strengths to suppress inflammation, whether it be eczema, psoriasis, or dermatitis, etc. So obviously this product is made from seaweed, kelp specifically, and a specific active ingredient from that. So interesting to know that substance then has anti-inflammatory effects which help the irritated and obviously angry skin.
You know what, when I try to use a product, I always want to know from someone else how it worked for them. And I know that there are many real-life stories where Dermicalp is involved of people that have really been helped by the product. But what are some of the outcomes that patients have had using Dermicalp?
Yeah, so it's quite interesting. You look at an array of ages. So whether it's an itchy bite, a mozzie bite, or so forth, you get spray-on formulas that are quite amazing. Things like Itch Relief is one of their products that are well accepted. And then if you look at that picture, that's actually of someone that was 15 years old that went to about 15 or 16 doctors looking to find a treatment for that skin condition. And eventually they found out that she has Crohn's disease, which is an inflammatory condition of the bowel and the gut, which manifests flare-ups quite often with a skin disease that looks as angry as that. And that obviously was using a natural product over a period of time. This is a more modern account of that. But she started showing some results within about 3 weeks already. So quite interesting to note, the dramatic improvement and also use of it for that indication, finding a rare cause of an itchy, irritated skin.
And the relief. Can you imagine the
socially,
relief?
think about that back on the beach and that back on the beach as well. For a 15 or 16-year-old, you can imagine it's quite significant.
Dr. Darren Green, thank you so much for talking us through this. Every little bit of information helps. And of course, I know that knowledge is power. So dermatologically tested and clinically proven Dermicalp is designed to rapidly soothe your sensitive, itchy and irritated skin. And because we're in the mood of giving, you can stand a chance of winning a Dermicalp hamper to the value of 1,300 Rand. Now, all you need to do is go onto the Expresso Facebook page and answer the question. Here it is. Name 2 different triggers that can cause the skin sensitivity and flare-ups. And of course, make sure you tag @Dermicalp. The winner of the hamper will also go into a draw to stand a chance of winning a spa day for you and a partner. It gets better, I'll go with you. T's and C's are available on expressoshow.com. #relief.
So after the break, we're going to continue on a wondrous journey. It's the story of the moon, brought to you by the fantastic Graffiti Brothers, and Mama Circus is here. Just work it.
Ooh, just work that skirt. That's amazing. Listen, you do not want to miss out. And then in the kitchen, we'll also be cooking up blueberry muffins. It's going to be delicious. We'll see you after the break.
One, two, one, two, one, two. You with those sad eyes, don't be discouraged. Oh, I realize it's hard to take courage In a world full of people, you can lose sight of. I think show me your smile, then don't be unhappy. Can't remember when I last saw you laughing. This world makes you crazy, and you've taken all you can bear. Just call me up, 'cause I will always be there. And I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show true colors. True colors are beautiful. And I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to let them show true colors. True colors are beautiful. Like a rainbow. Like a rainbow. Can't remember when I last saw you laughing.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and something exciting about to happen, because we know if you use a lot of data on your phone, you will love this deal. Vodacom is about to make your day with up to 1 free gig of data. Now, Vodacom is offering customers a chance to explore more of the internet with the Make Your Day campaign by giving you access to a new site every day of the week. Since today is Tuesday, Tuesday is all about lifestyle, and it's Lifestyle Tuesday with Vodacom, and they'll be giving you access to Pinterest and Take a Lot without any data charges. Now, this morning we have Jessica Hubert, founder of Mon Amour Events, using Pinterest for her inspiration and ideas when it comes to planning events. And she's here to tell us more about how she uses the platform. Jessica, good morning.
Thank you so much.
I see you have your mood board up here for us.
Yes.
Tell us some of the ways you prefer to use Pinterest.
Okay, so Pinterest is amazing. It's basically like a search engine for any bride. You can search anything you want. So you'll see that there's different mood boards that I've got over here. So you'll see that this one is about like greenery and beautiful touches of gold. Then we've got another one here with, you know, periwinkle, blue and gold. If we actually go into it, you can actually check that, you know, you've got all these different types of selections of images that you can create to make your perfect wedding come true.
I love it. You can literally plan your entire wedding on Pinterest. Now, you do a lot of weddings. Do you perhaps, like, I've noticed this theme, this board has a theme to it. Do you prefer all your boards to have themes, or how do you organize it all?
Yes. For me, I love it to have a theme going across it. It's actually quite fun. With my couples, I do like a secret board so that no one really can actually see what you're doing, but your brides actually can interact with you, which is really awesome. And with these images, you can actually like go into it and name it. So like, for example, this one with the cutlery, you can actually make a comment and say, oh my word, I love this cutlery, and someone can actually love it or pin it, and it becomes a conversation.
That is really cool.
Yes.
And what are some of your most interesting things that you love about Pinterest?
So obviously the search engine is really great. So you can literally search anything. It can be in any category. So it's really great for your brides. And I think it's just the interactiveness about it. It gives you so many options and you can play around it. So if you find an idea, you can make it better, improve it, and just make it unique for your couple.
I really like that. And I need to ask you this question purely from myself. So I believe you can follow people on Pinterest. Is that true?
Yes, that is actually true. So you can actually go and stalk your so-called, you know, people that you love and stuff like that, which is really exciting. And let's say you've got couples that actually want to come and follow you on your page, you can do that too. So it's really interactive for people to follow back.
Oh, that's quite cool. Well, do make sure you go and follow Mon Amour events on Pinterest to make sure you stay up to date with all of your inspiration. Jessica, thank you so much for coming through this morning.
Thank you so much.
Sharing your amazing ideas with us. Now, to make your day, all you need to do is buy a Vodacom 100 meg data bundle or more and have a positive data balance. Then you dial *111*634# or you download the latest My Vodacom app to opt in. Now use your free data today to explore Pinterest as well as takealot.com.
Now, if you are someone that loves to let the imagination run wild, then the fantastic Rafizi Brothers production of The Story of the Moon is a must. It's a traveling circus that combines the wonderment of the performing arts with the dynamics of a winter garden of delight. And I think we are set for a goosebump moment. They are currently stopping by in Fishoek up until the end of the children's school winter holidays, and that's up until the 23rd of July. But you're getting a taste just right now with one of the stars of the show, Lillian Kumalo. She is Mama Circus, if the dress didn't give it away, and she's about to show us her true colors.
You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged. Oh, I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all. The darkness inside you can make you feel so small. Show me your smile then. Don't be unhappy, can't remember when I last saw you laughing. If this world makes you crazy and you've taken all you can bear, just call me up, 'cause I will always be there. And I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show. True colors are beautiful. And I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show. True colors are beautiful. Like a rainbow, like a rainbow. Ooh, can't remember when. If this world makes you crazy and you've taken all you can bear, just call me up, 'cause I will always be there. And I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow, like a rainbow.
Just drift away. Lillian, that was gorgeous. You are gorgeous. Thank you so much. So much emotion. Hopefully that's inspired you to show your true colors today. More from the fantastic Graffizi brothers. Unbelievable story of the moon throughout the show today. So stick around right now. Let's get into those news headlines.
In die nasionale nuus, sowat 60 poste by die Johannesburgse aandelebeurs gaan besnoei word, wat aldus die beurs 'n besparing van tot 170 miljoen rand sal meebring. Die JSE se bestuurshoof, Nikki Newton-King, meen die rede vir hierdie besluit kan toegeskryf word aan Suid-Afrika se trae ekonomiese groei en die kredietafgraderings. Die JSE, wat sowat 430 personeellede in diens het, gaan ook sy tegnologie bedryfskoste inkort. Die parlement se ondersoek na Eskom sal later van dese maand 'n aanvang neem. LPS moet nog besluit oor wie die eerste getuies gaan wees. Die waarnemende voorsitter van die portefeulje komitee rakende openbare ondernemings, Zukiswa Ranto, sê hulle sal op 27 Julie vergader en die verhoor sal op 1 Augustus in aanvang neem. Die komitee het verlede maand besluit om 'n versoek te rig dat gewese voorsitters van Eskom se raad, uitvoerende beamptes en oud-uitvoerende beamptes die verhoor moet bywoon, wat onder andere Ben Ngubane, Zola Tsotsi, Chidiso Matona, Machelo Koko en Brian Molefe insluit. Op die internasionale front, die Rooikruis se internasionale komitee sê 'n uitbreking van kalere in die oorloggetuisterde Jemen het vermoedelik die afgelope 10 weke minstens 300,000 mense besmet. Die Rooikruis waarsku dat die situasie hand kan uitdruk wat met sowat 7,000 nuwe gevalle elke dag. Die Verenigde Nasies sê meer as 1,700 geassosieerde sterftes is ook aangemeld. Jemen se gesondheids-, water- en sanitasiestelsels op die punt om in duie te stort na 2 jaar van konflik tussen pro-regeringsmagte en die Houthi-rebellebeweging. En dan ten slotte, president Donald Trump het teruggekrabbel oor 'n voorstel om met Rusland saam te werk rakende die totstandkoming van 'n onderdringbare kubersekuriteitseenheid wat verkiesingskaping sal verhoed. Ure nadat hy die gedagte in die naweek sterk gepropageer het die Amerikaanse president gesê hy meen dit nie, of liewer dit sal nie werklik gebeur nie. Dit nadat Trump Vrydag in Duitsland sy eerste persoonlike ontmoeting met die Russiese president Vladimir Putin gehad het en die twee leiers die aangeleentheid wat sedertdien deur senior Republikeine en as bespotlik afgemaak bespreek het. Well, that was your 8 o'clock news update. Here's a final look at what's happening in the world of sport.
We start with cricket this morning, and Proteas paceman Vernon Philander has moved back into the top 10 of the ICC Test rankings. That's despite South Africa's loss to England in that first Test at Lords. Former world number 1 took 3 wickets for 67 runs in England's first innings before suffering a hand injury which saw him miss most of that first match. The second encounter where we're going to hopefully see him back in action again, of course missing Kagiso Rabada due to that suspension. That match kicks off between the Proteas and England at Trent Bridge this Friday. Then staying with cricket, on a momentous day, Zimbabwe earned their first ever ODI series win in Sri Lanka yesterday as they saw out a 3-wicket victory over their hosts in Hambantota. After restricting Sri Lanka to 203, Zimbabwe successfully chased down the winning target with 12 overs remaining to seal a 3-2 series win. That result sees the African side earn their first overseas ODI series victory in 8 years. Then bringing it back home to a glittering affair last night, Cape Town City captain Lebogang Manyama was named the 2016-2017 Footballer of the Year at the Premier Soccer League Awards in Sandton last night. Manyama ended the season as the PSL's top goal scorer, which helped his side, of course, to a third-place finish and the Telkom Knockout Trophy in their first season as a top-flight club. Also on the night, Gavin Hunt walked away with the coach of the season. That was after leading Bidvest Wits to their first ever PSL title. Then a major shock at Wimbledon. Two-time Wimbledon champion Rafa Nadal was knocked out of the grass court Grand Slam yesterday after what must be said was an epic 5-set loss to Gilles Muller. Nadal tied up the match after being 2 sets down, but Muller ended up on top in that final set, eventually winning the 28th game marathon by 15-13. Unbelievable matchup. And elsewhere on the day, sadly, South Africa's Kevin Anderson lost out to Sam Querrey in 5 sets, while there were around 16 wins for Roger Federer, looking very strong this year, Andy Murray and Venus Williams. And that's a wrap with your sport for this morning.
Well, let's take a final look at your roads this morning, starting off in Gauteng in Parktown. On the M1 highway, there's been an accident. That's before Colette Drive exit, so you can expect delays from the Crown interchange. If you're in Durban and Umhlanga, there's some congestion building on the M41 highway southbound. That's approaching the N2 interchange. And in Cape Town and Athlone, all major freeways seem to be free-flowing this morning. However, some congestion between the N2 inbound and Mowbray, as well as the M5 interchange is taking place. That's where we leave your traffic, but let's take one final look at your weather. Most parts of the country can expect a chilly start, but taking a look at those temperatures, we start off in Polokwane, where you can expect a low of 6 and a high of 22. Mpumbela 10, 26, Pretoria 7, 23, Johannesburg 6, 23, Mahikeng 9, 26, Klerksdorp 8, 27, Kimberley 5 met 'n maksimum van 24. Sonskyn kan verwag word in Bloemfontein met 'n minimum 2, maksimum 24. Richards Bay 16, 23, Pietermaritzburg 10 with a high of 19. Durban 16-20, Mthatha 4-16, East London 8 with a high of 18. Cradock partly cloudy, a low of -1, a high of 16. Port Elizabeth 7-17, George 6-14, Sutherland starting off a cool -4, reaching a high of 10. Cape Town today can expect some sunny conditions with a low of 6 and a high of 15. Worcester -2, 13, Springbok 4, 18 en in Uppington verwag 'n minimum van 7 en 'n maksimum van 24. Well, that's where we leave your weather on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Well, it's time for us to take a look at what's happening on social media this morning. And this morning we played our Where in the World game. Look at this gorgeous picture. We also let you know a clue that it's known as Little Paris, and it's one of the most beautiful and modern European cities. It seems like everybody got this right. Edwin, well done. Peter John, well done. Jade, well done. And I'm just going to give you the answer. It is Bucharest. It is in Romania. There was just one person that was like, Aish, I don't know. But I love that honesty, because you could have looked at everybody else. They got it all right. So well done on our Where in the World game. We'll play it again next week, same time, same place.
Fill a suitcase and help to improve someone else's life. It's as simple as that, and that's exactly what you can do to be a part of Travel Start's 27 Suitcases campaign. So from now up until the 18th of July, Travel Start is collecting clothes, toiletries, non-perishable food, and most importantly, children's toys when you consider Madiba's wishes. Now, these will fill 27 suitcases and be sent to 27 charities across South Africa on Mandela Day. You can drop off your donations at the Travel Start head office in Cape Town if you live in the Mother City, and you can also score a free cup of coffee in the process, or you can visit Travel Start's blog for details of all of the drop-off points around the country.
Thank you so much, G. You had me at free coffee. Well, talking about free, we're giving you a free recipe to blueberry muffins, and that's happening in the kitchen after the break.
Well, you know, we put our jerseys on because it's cold outside, but what to do with your pets and protecting them against the weather, we'll talk about that after the break.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. It's about to get that much more feel good. We know the random acts of kindness, they cost us absolutely nothing, but bring the greatest rewards. And this morning, we bring you a feel good story of how the Dis-Chem Foundation continue to support multiple initiatives across South Africa and bring much needed relief to communities that need it so badly.
We all know Dis-Chem is our favorite one-stop health shop, but they do a lot of good work out of the store too. Today I'm going to be chatting to two incredible women to learn more about the Dis-Chem Foundation and how they help others in need.
With our beautiful beaches and warm climate, we can consider ourselves lucky to live in sunny South Africa. But poverty and crime are harsh realities that need to be addressed. The Dis-Chem Foundation is doing all they can to help with a number of supportive initiatives.
Lynette, tell us a little bit more about the Dis-Chem Foundation.
When we started with our loyalty program, which we call our benefit program, we wanted to give back not only to the customer, but also to the communities in which we work and in which we live. With that, the Dis-Chem Foundation was born. There is unfortunately a lot of need in this country. We don't concentrate on any one particular field, though obviously health, education, food is of huge importance, nutrition, basic hygiene. So we are active in very many different fields and we have been able to touch the lives of a number of people.
Drugs are unfortunately a real issue in South Africa, especially in underprivileged communities. Drug use is often a catalyst for other crimes, and in poorer areas, 1 in 14 people are considered regular drug users. Worst of all, children as young as 10 are getting hooked and foregoing their much-needed education.
Penny, you do a lot of work to fight drug abuse in underprivileged communities. Can you tell us a little bit more about your work in Innerdale and about the Ladies of Hope?
We're very close to Innerdale because actually our local brigadier of the police works in Innerdale. This is his great passion. They've had a lot of riots. They've had a lot of mothers of drug addicts. Their homes have been burnt. They've been abused by the drug dealers. This particular one got us because the woman who is standing up and demonstrating and fighting for their children's rights and fighting for a cleaner, healthier, better society. Then there's a drug rehab centre, which is an old industrial building, which has got 30 beds in it, with a division in it, and that's it. There's nothing else. These kids want rehabilitation. They can't get rehabilitation. And this is something very interesting which we see. The women are strong. They are feisty, they are passionate. Don't get in the way of these kinds of women because they will do anything to save their children and their communities.
As an animal lover, I couldn't help but notice that you're putting a lot of effort into animal rescue as well.
Do you find a lot of these animal organizations don't only do animals, but they actually teach kids in areas about looking after animals, looking after pets. If you see a sick dog, if somebody's got a chain, report. Come and tell us what's going on. And they use a lot of animals in therapy too. This is how life works. We start something, people follow. Good things happen most of the time.
You offer support to so many different projects. Can you tell us a little bit more about some of them?
There are a few. The one is the Smile Foundation that we have teamed up with. If a child is walking around with a cleft palate and a cleft lip, first of all, it's very difficult for that child to eat, but as well, they become a target and a subject of abuse amongst other children. Once a year for a whole week, we sponsor the operations, the reconstructive surgery, and it makes a complete difference in the life of these children. Another organization that we help is called the Green Door. It's a midway station for rape victims, between being raped and getting the case reported and getting it to the police. Unfortunately, we also have a terrible problem in this country of the abuse of women and children. One of the things that has been very uplifting for us in all this terrible depression that's happening here is that how the people come to the fore and how people come and take care of on situations and do what they can.
I think it's safe to say there's a lot more to the Dis-Chem brand than meets the eye. Thank you so much to Dis-Chem for supporting these great causes, which are making a real difference in the lives of those who need it most.
Dis-Chem, pharmacists who care.
And moving on into some even more exciting news for our foodies this time. This week, Dis-Chem is giving away an incredible hamper, which includes all of our wellness expert Lisa Raleig's kitchen favorites. Now, this hamper is valued at over 2,000 Rand, which includes all your essentials from yummy and healthy food alternatives to recipe books to get you inspired. So this definitely is one to get your hands on.
And it's really easy. All you have to do to win is SMS Dis-Chem to 33728. And don't forget, every time you enter, you also receive a free entry into the grand prize draw where you could win 12,000 Rand in Dis-Chem shopping vouchers. But as with all good things, SMSs are charged at R1.50, and those T's and C's can be found on our website at expressoshow.com.
So now we get back into the kitchen with Gracie Stevens, one of our absolute favourites. For purely the sake of equality, okay, we've made gluten-free muffins. Yes. That's healthy, but sometimes we need comfort. It is winter.
Sometimes.
Sugar.
We
Okay, all the time.
Always
we need comfort. So we wanted to go really traditional and show you one of the simplest, coolest ways that you can put together one of my, in fact, the only muffin I really like, a blueberry muffin.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So,
This
where
is the
do we begin?
excuse to eat cake for breakfast.
Because that's basically what it is. Little bundles
cake.
of love and cake
It is
together
cake.
in the muffin
Yeah.
tin.
So let's start with our nice soft butter, and then I'm going to need you to beat that up until it's nice and fluffy and also lekker. And then I'm going to put my lemon juice into my milk, and this will curdle it. So basically, we're just making some buttermilk over there.
I was wondering how the lemon was going to come into, because you got your kind of tart.
You want the lemon to kind of soften the gluten in the flour, and that's what gives you that nice light, fluffy muffin. That's what we like.
There's nothing worse than a stodgy muffin.
No, we don't want a stodgy muffin. No, definitely not.
Cool.
Perfect. Let's crack the eggs into there.
Cool.
So let's do, and then as I add, just beat it really well. So you beat after each egg. I'm just gonna kind of get in there.
We can make a mess in this kitchen.
Excellent.
Unity. Cool. Now, I love this, and this, I think, again, is something, Lani, I know you're currently on school holidays at the moment, so you don't have to think about your school lunches.
No, but sometimes you have to have something fun for breakfast in the morning to start the day off, so this is a great way to start.
Do you get the little ones baking for you while they're on holiday? Because you deserve a bit of a break, man.
I sometimes get scones for breakfast in bed when my daughter does that.
You had a brilliant kind of approach where you've taught your children how to cook.
You have to.
How's that looking?
That is perfect. Now we're going to do about half of the dry ingredients. I've just put my baking powder in there. So about half of this and a little bit of our milk mixture, and then you mix.
And you can see it's curdled already.
Oh, that's what you want. You definitely want that. It's not going to kind of change the consistency.
Could you use like a buttermilk or something like that if you wanted to?
Of course you can use buttermilk. Yes, yes.
Oh, see, I'm learning. Love it. Cool. Put some more.
I just think if you can make your own buttermilk as quick as that, then why not? Let's
There's
do
something
that.
really cool about kind of getting back to basics and doing something for yourself. Sorry, I'm going to.
Now let me put some milk in, and that'll help to take away all that flour.
But that is the fun part about baking.
And of course some lemon zest, because this just kind of complements those blueberry flavour.
I often find because blueberries can be quite tart when you eat them raw, so when you kind of you cook them a little or bake them, at least they get a nice sugary, caramelly vibe.
Excellent,
You want a bit of a zing. Cool.
Yeah. So let's pop our blueberries in there now.
And you haven't been shy, hey?
No!
There's nothing worse than getting a blueberry muffin and it's got one.
No, you don't want that. You definitely don't want that. So let's fold those in very carefully. You don't want to squish many of them.
You don't want to bruise them
So
too much.
you can use frozen ones as well, but then
clever,
I would put them in the oven for 10 minutes longer, because of course the frozen berry is going to drop your temperature, and you are going to need some extra time with that.
Okay, then I'm going to bring you a muffin tin right here.
The muffin tin.
And as we do our dolloping, the key word is muffin, 33728. That looks amazing. I'm so glad that you've gone kind of over the top with the
You
the
have
blueberries
to
in
have
there.
lots.
That's
And these
amazing.
blueberries are huge this season, aren't they?
Oh, man, and they are so rich in vitamin C. So there is a bit of health going into this, but it's going to make us feel better about life, and that's what we want out of a winter recipe. How long do these need to be
So
in
about
the
12,
oven?
15 minutes,
Okay, so it's
180
quick.
degrees, so it is quite quick. That's why you can kind of make these for breakfast for your kids on holiday, and they will love you.
And you can eat them fresh. Gracie, you are a genius. We're going to pop these into the oven. The keyword again is muffin to 33728, and you can be on your way to creating these beautiful, gorgeous, blueberry-rich muffins, and they do look amazing. Oh.
Do you want to try one?
As we continue our informative series with Dr. Mats, a technical specialist from MSD Animal Health, the makers of Brevecto, we are putting the spotlight on our canine companions. And today we are talking about how we can protect our dogs from the elements. Dr. Mats, good morning.
Good morning.
You know what, when it comes to the dogs, they have their fur coats, but how important is it to protect them during the winter and summer months?
I think very rightly so. I mean, we have clothes, they don't, so immediately they become exposed to everything that we are not. For dogs living indoors, it's a lot easier, so they kind of have a similar environment to us. But for the dogs living outdoors, you need kennels, you need possibly a heating source, especially during winter. And that can be something as infrared light, or it can be a blanket or something like that. It can be quite a simple thing to do.
Now, you mentioned what, some of the things are that owners can do during winter, but what other, forms or kinds of protections can dog owners take?
I think something like, especially during winter, something like a doggy jacket or a little jersey is important. You can have that, especially for your thin-skinned animals. Mm-hmm. In dogs, your chihuahuas, whippets, your greyhounds, they tend to have a much thinner skin, so they tend to get a lot more sensitive and more to the cold. Just be aware that once you put those jacket on, you must have a little safety clip on, so it's a quick release. So if it gets caught on something, they can release themselves.
Okay. And in the summer months, I suppose what would then be the best way to protect them?
In summer, I think a lot of it goes around the sun and the exposure to sun, so having a shaded area always available and a lot of fresh water available.
Okay. And, why is it that there are certain breeds that are more affected by weather conditions than others?
I think it has to do with their size. Your smaller animals tend to have a higher metabolic rate, so they might tend to get warmer quickly, but also the thickness of their skin. So some of the breeds like Chihuahuas and Whippets have got a much thinner skin. So in terms of burning and sensitivity to the sun, it will be different. Sure.
And as a dog owner, how do you know, let's say I do put a little jacket on my dog for winter. How do I know that, maybe he's overheating? Is there signs, some telltale signs?
I think a classic reason, if you look at these dogs, if they start panting, and that's a definite sign. Increased water drinking, that's a good sign as well. Or just pacing around, just trying to cool themselves down.
Okay.
They can't sweat like we can,
no.
So they just use their tongues.
Okay. Keep that in mind. Dr. Mats, thank you so much for that. So not only will a good cuddle with your canine companion brighten your mood, but it also is a good way to keep each other warm in the colder months. So make sure to watch our next Brevecto segment where we look at how to recognize and treat pain in dogs.
Thank you so much, Zoe. Well, we know that winter is a time where we try and make sure that we're comfortable, we're warm, and our health is well taken care of. Well, the same principle applies to our pets as well. So as a pet owner, you can bite back this winter with Brevecto and win. Brevecto is giving away a year's supply of Brevecto as well as a year of pet insurance to not one, not two, but to 10 lucky winners. Now, to enter, all you need to do is buy Brevecto from any vet clinic or vet store and then SMS your name and the last 4 digits of the barcode to this number. It's 45969. SMSs cost R1.50 and entries close on the 15th of September 2017. Visit www.brevecto.co.za or expressoshow.com to find out more.
For your extraordinary pet, you need extraordinary care. Give your dog 12 weeks protection against ticks and fleas in just one tasty treat with Brevecto.
Thank you, guys. So we're going to take a very quick ad break. Then when we return, my Zulu princess, who is yet to accept my marriage proposal, continues to woo me with food. We're going to caramelize these tomatoes. We're going to create our own ricotta, and we're going to put it on a bruschetta. It's just going to be absolutely amazing. I wish you could see how much my mouth is watering at the moment. Then JP Sebastian is going to join us to preview what looks like an incredible new release, The Circle. All right. Can I taste it before?
No.
Just one.
No.
There we go. Should be able to go. Okay, we can go now. Correct. So buttons go and you'll set up on the side so you can take a hit.
See, they pick up the bolas and then we do drums.
Okay.
And they're picking this up.
Before we can go, we
Oh.
can go with the downstairs.
Yeah, I'll take a look. No cameras. Yes.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. As I always say, your timing is perfect. Why? Because we're about to indulge ourselves with... honestly, my mouth is watering so much, I can hardly talk right now. Okay? Because Zozo feels my favorite. You've got something simply delicious.
I do.
See how I
I
throw
like
that in?
that.
Yeah?
I like that.
Okay, I'm not going to even destroy this recipe by trying to put it together. Tell us what you are making this
Okay,
morning.
so we're making homemade ricotta cheese,
Okay.
first of all. Then we're doing some caramelized tomatoes to go with it.
Wow,
Okay.
and then it's
I
going to
know,
end up
and
like
it's going
this.
to end up looking like sensational.
Oh, no, it says warm toasted bread. It's bruschetta.
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 Yeah, you
you
said
see,
it
everyone's
correct. You said
laughing
it
at me,
no,
man.
You said
Just back
it
yourself,
beautifully.
Graham. Back yourself, man.
Okay, so let's make the ricotta first, shall we?
Okay, we're using our Clover full cream.
We are indeed.
Which I would normally be drinking by the glass by now.
You
Okay,
can,
so
I'll
that
leave you
bottle
some
will be hot.
in here so you can drink
Please.
it. So you,
Absolutely love it. But there is something awesome about making your own ricotta. It's
there
magical.
is, because, you know, making things at home, you know exactly what's going into them, which is, first of all,
I like that,
the first
yeah.
prize. Yeah, and then you can also control the thickness of your ricotta and how, you know, liquid you want it or how firm you want it, depending on what you want to use
You
it
can
for.
boast about having made your own ricotta.
That
as well.
too,
I think
absolutely.
That's the most important thing, yeah?
Okay, so you want to season it. So that's the
lots of
Clover
salt.
full cream milk going in there, and then some salt, generous
Right.
pinches of salt. And then to turn it into cheese, you need an acid so that
Okay.
you can separate the curds in the whey, right?
Okay.
So the acid in this form is coming in lemon juice. It's coming in lemon juice form in this instance. Sorry, let
You
me
weren't
just
wrong.
grab
You
my
weren't-
English.
you weren't wrong.
So lemon juice in there. You could use some white wine vinegar or even apple cider vinegar, but remember
Okay.
that will also give it a distinct
A different
flavor.
taste, yeah.
Absolutely. You could also use white balsamic vinegar, which is actually a really beautiful flavor as well.
Okay, and it's slightly sweeter as well, yeah.
Yeah, so all you want to do is bring this to the boil.
Is there a ratio that you need there?
Yeah, so 1.5 liters of milk to about half a cup of lemon juice.
Okay.
Yeah?
Cool.
Okay, so then you bring it to the boil, then you take it off the heat and you just leave it. Leave it for about a day.
Oh, my
Just
word.
so you can get the perfect texture
Someone else
of
must
ricotta.
start the process in. I can't leave
I'll
a
start
recipe
it for
for a
you.
day.
Don't you worry. I'll start for you. So you can see that
It's proper curdled.
becomes curdled. So the curds in the whey separate. And then for ricotta cheese, you just want to grab a muslin cloth, just like
Okay.
this. Line a sieve with the muslin cloth. And then pour the ricotta. Can you see the lumpy lumps?
Wow.
That's the cheese, okay? So the important part here is not to be impatient and push it through. Leave it to drain all by itself. Can you
Again,
see
you're
it?
going to have to do that part of the process. I'm sorry. I'll be squishing this already. And no.
But you can see how simple it is. So you can
Yeah,
see
completely.
the whey sort of running through, and it's a more clear, cloudy liquid. It's not so milky anymore.
Okay.
And what you want is the solids. And then after it's drained for a day, remember, don't push it through, it looks just like that. So we just turned clover milk into ricotta cheese.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah?
We used our full cream, so it's going to have a lovely, rich flavour to it as well. We've got some salt in there to season it.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Okay,
and
so
we use
now
the
we-
lemon juice to keep the scent out. Okay.
So now we're going to caramelize some tomatoes. So that's just some regular sugar, or you could use caster sugar.
Okay.
Pop it into the bottom of a cold pan. Pop the pan onto the heat. Leave it to start melting. Then at that stage, once it's started melting, I'm just going to fast forward through
Okay,
that.
sure, as we do.
Add some balsamic vinegar.
Oh, and you've got a nice, almost a balsamic, rich, like, almost like a reduction there.
I know,
yeah.
already. It's really good balsamic. A few thyme leaves.
Clever.
A bit of salt, because, you know, tomatoes need some salt.
Yeah.
Then you're going to leave that to bubble. A bit of pepper as well, and then reduce, and then turn the tomatoes over for another like 2 minutes until they're sort of soft and tender,
and they start coming
look
out
just
like
like
this.
that. Then you can start impressing your friends by putting together this bruschetta. I want you to say bruschetta for me again because you just say it in such a
Bruschetta. You've got to say it with a hand gesture as well. You know, my mind is just blown. In fact, I need to take a break and recap how we arrived at this incredible. We did magic with our ricotta cheese here. Here's a little blow by blow of how we arrived at this incredible end result. Wow, Zola's saying it's so simple, but I'm saying it's not because it took us 3 days to get to this point. Okay,
but it's okay, it's still simple.
It is amazing. It's simply delicious is what it is, Zola. The key word is Clover to 33728. We'll send you an ingredients list directly to your phone. You just need to click on the link that gets sent to you, and you can create this magic at home. I'm so impressed and proud of the ricotta cheese that I pretended to create on this show. A little bit of magic, Zola. You are a superstar. Again, that keyword Clover to 33728. Well, there's more deliciousness on the way this afternoon, Zoe.
Clover fresh milk is way better. Made with love by Clover.
That's right, Graham, because this afternoon on Afternoon Express, I hope you're ready for another tasty Tuesday, because the afternoon team will be joined by Kurt Skoenraad. Now, they're going to be cooking up something amazing, but resident chef Clem Pedro, he'll also be wrapping things up with mouth-watering milk and honey panna cotta as a post-dinner treat. So do not miss out on that on Afternoon Express.
Well, this is Savings Month, and we are determined to get financially fit and to save as much as we can, especially me. I need to. And one way to save is by avoiding unnecessarily high banking fees, which, let's be honest, catches us off guard every single month. And this is why we're loving Nedbank's pay-as-you-use account, because it has a flat monthly fee of only R5.
Yeah, and I've paid as much as 300 Rand on banking charges. So R5 for an account that is fully fledged transactional is unbelievable. It's been designed to help you save and allows you to pay only for what you use. Plus, you can add extra benefits when you need to as well. So if you're interested in saving with the Nedbank Pay-As-You-Use account and would like to find out more, which I really do suggest you do, just SMS NEDPAYU, all as one word, to 30755. That's NEDPAYU 30755. SMSs are completely free, and all of the terms and conditions can be found on nedbank.co.za.
I'm a dreamer, a doer. I know the hustle. I just need my money to hustle for me.
Let your money hustle for you. Get a bank account for R5 per month and bank on the Nedbank app without using any data. See money differently. Nedbank.
Well, we still have loads coming up on your Feel Good Breakfast show. We have our Pan-African entertainment reporter, Moyen Olarantoba, in studio with us. Do not miss out on those news. And then, of course, JP Sebastian here to give us a movie review as well. So we'll see you after the break.
That's right. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. That's the one. I do know where I work. And of course, we've got entertainment reporter and founder of the YouTube channel, The A1, in studio with us today. And she's going to give us the lowdown on all things Pan-African entertainment. Moyen, how are you, darling?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very,
I see
very
the tropical
good.
feels on you.
I am loving it. I'm loving it so much. But what else I'm loving is the fact that I've been hearing so many interesting things is happening in the world of Pan-African entertainment news. Shall we talk about the beef, though?
Okay,
I've been hearing about the beef in the industry.
I know, yes. Okay, so in Nigeria, we have 3 powerhouse male artists. So Davido, Wizkid, Techno, they are huge in Africa, huge internationally. And they just seem to have beef in between themselves. Kind of like an ego thing, who's bigger, and, you know, especially hitting the international scene, who's bigger in that sense as well. And it's been really strong between Davido and Wizkid, so much so that they performed in the same city, 15 minutes apart. What? Different locations. They sold out in both locations, but it's just so, like, it's really, really weird. Also, Techno's kind of, you know, gotten into that beef as well because he's blowing up internationally. And then kind of like the bigger brother, Banky W, he's been in the industry for a very long time. He's more behind the scenes now. He's speaking out and he's like, guys, you need to stop this. Like, end this. You need to be working together. How can you guys perform in the same city 15 minutes apart in completely kind of ignoring each other completely? I mean,
can you imagine what they'd be able to do if they just worked together?
They are huge artists. So hopefully they get it together and come and do, I don't know, maybe a collaboration or something.
Exactly. Well, Techno's part of the beef, but he's also doing some amazing things. So we'll forgive him a little bit.
Just a little bit. Well, he's been doing really, really well lately, and he's giving back. So he has actually put aside 5 million naira, to help out students and young businesses. He's like, you know what, hit me up on the socials. All you have to do is give me proof that you do need the money, which is very important. And he's been helping out a whole bunch of people. So big ups to him on doing that.
I love that. Well done. Who else is giving back?
Well, in Namibia, we got the Magogos.
Okay.
Yeah,
Magogos.
I know, right? So they started a charity called Let's Feed Namibia, and that all has to do with feeding children. So they had quite a tough upbringing, and they said that they really struggled growing up to make sure there was food on the table, and so they want to make sure that kids don't have to go through that as well. So they've come together, they're really pulling funds, bringing everybody in to really kind of stand behind the children of Namibia and make sure that everyone is, you know, and no one goes home hungry. So
that's wonderful.
That's
I thought you were going to show us a group of grannies. I know.
Not at all.
Very, very cool. Well, thank you so much, Moyen, for keeping us up to date as to what's happening in the world of entertainment news. And of course, why don't you go and check out Moyen on the YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/the A1TV. And make sure that you check out everything that they're getting up to, because why? It is hot.
It is hot indeed. Now listen, for a look that's a cut above the rest, our favorite celebrities turn to one legendary barber who goes by the name Sheldon Thatchell for their killer haircuts. Now, from humble beginnings to owning several outlets across Gauteng, Sheldon's journey as an entrepreneur has been about so much more than just recognition. He aims to empower his community one close shave at a time.
No two haircuts are the same, and best believe when it comes to a fresh lineup, there are levels to this game. And right now, the Legends Barbershop are dominating the hair industry, both in the streets and online. And it all started with a little kid, a pair of clippers, and a dream.
In his youth, Sheldon Thatchell would spend his afternoons passionately watching neighborhood barbers cut hair. In 2014, after marketing his skills to celebrities on social media, he used his opportunity as momentum to start his own establishment called the Legends Barbershop.
I'm from Eldorado Park, born and raised there. Growing up was really tough, you know, because of the things that's happening in the society, especially like when it comes to your drug dealing, like your car thieves, the gang-related violence. Those are like the role models that we have like in our society. So you never dreamed of doing something good, you understand? So I just wanted to make a difference and like just stand out from the crowd as well. Most of our customers know that when you come to Legends Barbershop, you're definitely going to get a quality haircut. And it also boils down to relationship. We have a lot of young people coming to the shop, especially like they're in school, high school, and university. So basically we just want to be that positive role model in their lives, you understand? Just building that relationship with the customer and from a barber point of view as well. So those are the key elements that we focus in our barbershop.
Sheldon opened his first shop in 2014 in El Dorado Park, and he's since opened 3 subsequent stores around Gauteng. But his work doesn't stop there. He also provides a mobile service to keep up with the busy lifestyle of some of his more high-profile clients. Lemise, how did you hear about Legends Barbershop?
I had wanted to cut my hair for the longest time, and I kept on delaying it because I just looked for every excuse in the book. And then when I finally decided that I wanted to cut it, I asked all my friends with dope haircuts. So I think the first person that told me about Sheldon was Deko Modise. And I texted Sheldon, and the rest is history. And the minute I cut my hair, it just did wonders for my brand. I think I appeal to a broader market now. The whole Legends team understand, my image and all that I'm trying to build.
Having short hair is quite new to Lemise, so how do you make sure she's comfortable when you want to do all these crazy things to her hair?
So it all depends on how she feels on the day also, because now I'm doing a different design. With this design, I have to incorporate stuff that she would like. We're doing a line design with the heart.
In true barber fashion, Sheldon develops strong personal relationships with his impressive network of clients.
I think we were out at an event and I'd seen actually Lady Scully's hair first. She had this crazy, crazy pattern on her hair. And then she had mentioned Legends Barber. So this one day, we called him up for an appointment when I was doing a TV show. And he came on set and he cut my hair. But the thing is wow, the accuracy, the perfection. My OCD matches his OCD, which is cool.
We actually bonded very well, and she's actually the one that actually put us on in terms of with Instagram, and she tags us in the pictures and she says shout out to the barber and what. So that helps a lot, because now, especially these days, women just come to the barbershop and they're I want Lute's haircut, I want Lute's haircut. And I was okay, no, that's cool, that's cool.
76,000 followers on Instagram, 100,000 followers on Facebook. I think it's safe to say South Africa has spoken. This is the best barbershop in the country. I'll see you next week, huh?
I love that, carving his own path. Now, if you can bear putting down your social media for at least 2 hours this weekend, maybe you can connect for real at the movies to watch what looks like an awesome new thriller, The Circle, an eerily relatable thriller with a tech twist. Emma Watson, who we love, plays the rising star in the world's largest social media company on the cusp of a technological breakthrough, promising and/or threatening to change humanity forever. How far is too far? Let's get a sense from The Circle.
We all pay taxes. And what, 80% of us did that online last year? Why not stop duplicating services? Why not just make it all part of one unified system? You could pay your taxes, vote, pay your parking ticket, all through your Circle account. We'd save users hundreds of hours of inconvenience. We'd save the government billions.
Hundreds of billions. We could eliminate half of it overnight.
Why wouldn't the government just build a similar service? Why the hell did they need us?
It would cost too much. They don't have the expertise. We already have the infrastructure.
You are absolutely right. Government needs us more than we need them.
Oh, I saw Tom Hanks there. I saw a mid-Atlantic American accent coming from Emma Watson.
Emma Watson, yes.
JP Sebastian.
You seem keen on the tech thriller type thing. Obviously,
yeah, no,
you loved
I dig this.
Johnny Mnemonic, you loved The Matrix, man, you loved Social Network.
But what I loved about those is because they really do take it to a freaky place and something that is necessarily there on the fringe of society as we stand
that we deal
right
with every
now.
day. Yeah. So one of the things that they were talking about there in that scene was just before the idea of getting everyone to register for elections online, and then she's like, well, why not just get people to vote on our platform as well? Which, don't get excited about. That's actually a horrible idea for megalomaniacal and totalitarian
if
reasons.
They could control hard copy ballots. Imagine what they could do with an algorithm.
Yeah, or some sort of embarrassing selfie you've got out there. So, but I've got plenty of those to talk about, and we don't have 4 hours to talk about that. The story is Emma Watson is promising up-and-comer. She's just landed at this, it's like you just said, it's the largest social media company in the world, as a customer service agent, and works her way up the ranks. into an experimental program that they're trying out, because every Friday they run this thing where they almost have this TED Talk type thing about this new technology they're revealing. And she promises there, after some encouragement and sort of, what would the word be, like indoctrination, I suppose, from the executives, to undergo full transparency of her life. So she wears a camera 24 hours a day, and because they come to this sort of idea that somehow secrets are lying. That somehow keeping, private experiences, which someone, somewhere else on the other side of the world who might not say have the privileges to enjoy those experiences like yourself, keeping that from them is unethical at some level, which kind of is dubious. They don't really explain that too well necessarily, but it's interesting enough.
Creates a nice premise, yeah.
And it's possible that we might get to this place where, everything is totally transparent, that there are cameras everywhere, and that's actually something we rejoice in.
Well, I mean, it's a voyeuristic culture, and people are loving putting themselves out there as well.
It's not too far off, sure. Unfortunately, though, so while this movie is crucial, I suppose, and it's based on a book that's 500 pages long, condensing that all might
Hence
be
the 2 hours, yeah.
might be quite difficult. And I actually found myself after watching this, I Googled immediately The Circle, what went wrong.
Okay.
Because there are like two occasions in this movie where you don't sort of, for one, there's like one instance where you're like, wait, how did she become indoctrinated in the first place? How did she become such a believer in this cult of this Silicon Valley culture? They don't flesh that out well enough. And then the other thing is, like, when she makes a turn to decide whether this is right or wrong, which I'm not telling you if she does or not, they also don't flesh that out well enough at all. The script is terrible, and it looks like it got butchered in post, because the writer's actually not a bad guy ordinarily.
So you've just bashed Tom Hanks, okay? Let's just be honest here, okay? Come on, you've just bashed Tom Hanks,
I was strictly
the greatest
there
actor of all time.
Commented on the structure of the movie. Not the actors are just fine. John Boyega's in it too, and he doesn't get enough airtime either. He's the original creator of the platform. Tom Hanks stepped in as sort of like the...
Well, maybe they're taking some license there, and assuming that this generation, just feels that way. But the ultimate question, my friend, is how many popcorns does Tom Hanks in this movie get?
Oh man, you're probably going to just rush to social media and beg your friends not to watch it. I'm afraid it is a total misfire. Good actors, the premise is important enough, the story is useful, I'm sure. Read the book by Dave Eggers, the original, but The Circle is a flop. It's 3.5 out of 10.
Wow, banana. Banana.
Still getting minion from you.
Oh, man, well, you can go and decide for yourself.
Please
awesome
do,
stuff. And, of course, you have an opportunity to win as well. And we know Julius Caesar played a pivotal role in the rise of the Roman Empire. And Caesar, leader of the apes, also wants to see his species prevail. After the apes suffer unimaginable losses, Caesar wrestles with his darker instincts and begins his own mythic quest to avenge his kind. Experience this very highly anticipated third chapter of the now critically acclaimed blockbuster franchise in New Metro's technologically advanced extreme cinemas. Something to behold, including Dolby Atmos and Oro 3D sound on some of South Africa's largest ever cinema screens. You can find them at Canal Walk in Cape Town, Ballito Junction in KZN, Clearwater in Johannesburg, and the Glen, as well as Menlyn Park then in Pretoria. Now stand a chance of winning tickets to see the incredible War for the Planet of the Apes in extreme. Simply SMS the keyword war plus your name and of course the city to 40675. Remember, you really do need to add the city in which you're in to be able to watch that screening, and terms and conditions can all be found on expressoshow.com.
Find the best entertainment at New Metro Cinemas. It's your scene.
Listen, we're not ready to end the show off yet, but when we do, it's going to be with a bang, because we still have the fantastic Graffisley brothers in studio for another performance.
Exactly, and Ezekiel's going to give us a taste of what you can expect after the break. Take it away, Easy.
Okay.
Ow! A little more? Okay, no, not anymore.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Well, Vodacom is about to meg your day with free data. Now explore Facebook Monday, Lifestyle Tuesday, Gaming Wednesday, Instagram Thursday, Music Friday, Sports Saturday, and Video Sunday. To qualify, buy a Vodacom 100 meg data bundle or more and have a positive data balance. Then dial *111 *634# or download the latest My Vodacom app. Remember to opt in daily and don't miss out on up to 1 gig of free data every day from South Africa's best network. For more information and T's and C's, you can visit vodacom.co.za.
So we have been loving being transported on a flight of the imagination this morning, exploring the story of the moon, brought to you by the fantastic Graffizi brothers. Now we've got the Boladeras actor, Christine Chapman and Ezekiel Sosa. Ezekiel, welcome back, brother.
Thank you, thank you.
I was so excited when I saw your drama, dude. I was like, oh, it's going to get hot in here, but I'm going to start with you, Christine. Okay. Welcome to it. What an unbelievable show to be a part of. How do you guys tie into the bigger picture? What's the vibe when you go and see the story of the moon?
Well, the show is for family-based entertainment, so it's from zero to hero for family.
Love this.
And then after the show, we've got other entertainment. We've got a bungee trampoline up for the kids. We've got bars, restaurants, you name it, bands coming in regularly. So it's a little bit of everything for everyone.
How do you describe your act, Ezekiel? And I know you're one of the best in the country at doing this, dude.
One of the only.
No, yes, I think, yeah, for me it's very special, actually, like, and I think it's like, I don't know, like traditional and I don't know, what is extravagance and
An extravaganza.
Yeah, extravagance act. Like I can do everywhere on the wall, and I think it's the people like, you know.
They do like.
Yeah.
I wish I had the accent to give it a bit more flair, man. I love the fact that you guys are doing something slightly bohemian, that this is a traveling circus in the traditional sense, and it's got such an unbelievable variety. But I think the best way to let you guys sell this awesome production is with a performance. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the story of the moon, and you're about to get a massive highlight, guys. The stage is yours.
Gracias.
Hey.
Oh la la, ay ay ay. Oh, vamos. Woo! Vamos.
Expresso Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.